Well, it's really important we do, and it's not about money because all parts of the country get a fair allocation of money, but in about 3/4 of the country they manage to do this relatively efficiently, and in other parts it takes, as you say, up to 6 months. And if you are someone who's worried that you might have dementia, to have to wait for 6 months just to get a simple yes or no is totally unacceptable.
And you set yourself a target of this time next year. That's not a huge amount of time to play with. So how are you going to reach that goal? What pressure are you going to put on people across the country?
Well, we've sent the signal loud and clear throughout the NHS, and the NHS is gearing up for a significant increase in diagnosis rates.
But how? How will they fund that?
Well, because we've given targets to doctors and to hospitals to be much more proactive in identifying, and there's money attached to that for them because there are costs involved as well for them.
But what carers need is financial help. There are as many carers as there are sufferers in this country, and they're saving you, Mr. Hunt, an awful lot of money, aren't they? Because they're looking after people with no financial support at the moment. What can you do to help them financially?
Well, the state could never be solvent if we tried to step in and perform the role of every single carer, and nor should it, because in the end family bonds are some of the most important building blocks of society, and I wouldn't want the state to replace those. But what I do want us to do, what I do want us to do is to support those carers in that incredibly important work, and to do it better, frankly, than we're doing at the moment. And I think dementia is a very good example where too often when someone discovers that their husband or wife of decades has got this condition, people feel left on their own.
And on a personal level, Mr. Hunt, as of course as a son, a husband and a father, do you ever think how you might cope if dementia was to affect your life or a life of one of your loved ones?
I think it is one of the most traumatic things that can happen to anyone. I mean, dementia is uniquely horrible because it can tear apart relationships that have developed over years and years and years, and sometimes people feel that the person who has dementia is not the person they married 40 years ago, and so it's an incredible.
Are you scared of that,
I think it's a very scary prospect for anyone, and that's why I think we have such an obligation to do better in supporting families who are living with that condition. But the one thing I would say is that, scary though it isn't all bad news. It's really important to remember, if you are worried about dementia, getting a proper diagnosis means you can get care and support in place that can make a big difference, and that's what we have to do.